Good morning, everyone. Welcome to day 7, 9 days of Dhamma. "25 years of Abhayagiri." um, 25 years of Abhayagiri, 2,500 years of Buddhism. There are certain kind of themes that are kind of the kind of like the backbeat to the whole song, and they provide the rhythm of the of this kind of movement. Refuges and precepts, just as we did. That is a underlying theme, or a fundamental piece of how we approach our living our lives as Buddhist practitioners. Having a refuge that allows us to establish a certain view of what is worthwhile, what is beneficial, what is useful, and that sense of Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha. Buddha as kind of awakened knowing, Dhamma as a fundamental truth, Sangha as the examples of virtue and integrity. These are the qualities that we can be bringing into our daily life, into our practice, our training, and to internalize. That's one of the qualities that we, when we chant the recollection of the Dhamma, one of the qualities is opanayiko, leading inwards, so that drawing these qualities inwards, drawing Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha inwards, drawing it into the heart. So that as we go about our day of today of practicing and recollecting 25 years of Abhayagiri, hopefully it is a reminder of the constancy or the necessity of, constancy or consistent application of these fundamentals in our life, and also how, important it is to return to those foundations. Of course, one of the fundamental foundations of the Buddha's teachings and practice are the Four Noble Truths. I mean, it's almost almost trite to sort of say. You ask a Buddhist, what is the say, the heart of the Buddhist teachings and say, the Four Noble Truths. And it's true. But it's so important to keep exploring how essential that really is, to view our view our life, view our training, view our meditation, view ourselves through the lens of those Four Noble Truths. And particularly looking at things through the lens of experience, in the sense that one is looking at dukkha as the experience of dis-ease, of discontent, of stress, so that we start to identify more clearly what is it. Because, of course, we are always motivated to experience happiness and well-being, and we want to get away from difficulty and problems. That's ordinary, and that's what the Buddha is highlighting. In order that we are hopefully willing to look a bit deeper, and recognizing that we can take this natural tendency to its logical conclusion. I mean, really complete freedom from any kind of dis-ease, discontent, dissatisfaction, and arrive at complete peace and freedom. Because also when the Buddha points to the Four Noble Truths, and when he emphasizes or reiterates over and over again, I teach only two things: suffering and the cessation of suffering. It's important to take note that the Buddha is including the cessation of suffering, the ending of suffering, complete freedom and liberation from suffering, from dukkha. And that is necessary to turn our attention to. And not just, because it's easy to get swept up in the identification with dukkha, our problems. Me and my problems, me and my difficulties. But the possibility exists side by side to that for the freedom from suffering, and to direct our attention to the recognizing, okay, where does that, because those Four Noble Truths, okay, suffering, cause of suffering, where does that arise from? What's its root? And then nirodha, cessation of suffering, ending of suffering. Then the path and leading to cessation of suffering, or the cause of the cessation of suffering. So we're looking at things through the lens of experience and causal processes. And it takes a certain amount of alertness, awareness, attention to see clearly. And so that sense of just training, especially in our meditation, but it applies throughout our life. But particularly as we're sitting here, to recollect that just that lifting up of attention, awareness, knowing, is the exercising of clarity that will allow us to see the causes of dukkha more clearly, and the causes of our freedom from dukkha more clearly. It's that returning to this fundamental quality of awareness, alertness, a spacious kind of knowing. Say, just breathing in, just allowing the breath to come in, say, within that field of knowing. And breathing out, it's being held within that space of knowing. And that's not completely passive. You're engaging attention, recognizing and paying attention to what are we adding to this present moment. Because what we can easily add, say, expectation and desire. We can add fear and worry, aversion, irritation. But we can also add interest, curiosity. We can add faith and confidence. We can add discernment and reflective, a reflective intent that allows us to discern more clearly and recognize more clearly what is for my true benefit and welfare, what is for the benefit and welfare of others, what is for the facilitating of the alleviation of stress, alleviation of dis-ease. And it's in this present moment that we can experience that. And sort of when we're not adding anything, it's just realize, just in this knowing, there's a well-being, a spaciousness, a clarity that's deeply satisfying. And it takes a reflective investigation, acceptance of the fact that I don't need to add anything to this. I don't need to complicate this. I don't have to try to force it to be according to my preference. And that sense of ease that comes, that sense of contentment that arises, and a certain discernment that manifests, just seeing things in their true nature. I'd say It's uplifting, it's energizing. And so that, so much of practice is learning how to just step back and get out of the way. So as we're sitting here, just relaxing into the posture, whether one's sitting on the floor, sitting on a bench, sitting in a chair, if one's standing, walking, lying down, whatever posture we're in, we can be bringing our awareness and mindfulness to this quality of knowing. As we breathe in, just being with the knowing, appreciating that knowing. As we breathe out, just being with the knowing, allowing it to settle and establish itself. And then being willing to return to that quality of knowing. Recognizing it as a refuge. And so we can sit quietly and begin our day's practice with just the fundamentals of awareness, of mindfulness, cultivation.